Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LAKERLAND, episode 6. I'm your boy, the Light Out Sports. I'm excited for another episode with the fam here at LAKERLAND. ZZ, how you doing today?
I'm great. I am great. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, just know I'm 2-0 in jump ball segments against Light Out Sports. 2-0.
Well,
Just
1-0. I mean,
Just two.
one
It's
because
two.
the last episode, the first episode we did it was the preseason, so it's 1-0.
Oh,
We're not
right.
gonna count that one. Yeah,
Right.
but let's just keep going. Yo, Seven, how you doing?
Man, I'm bringing the energy. I don't know what's up with y'all, but it's going down. We alive, man. In front of the American public. Shout out to Laker Nation, man. Welcome back, people, to LAKERLAND. It is going down. We got an unbelievable episode. Y'all see, we got my guys with me. So I'm excited for today's show, man. You already know. Shout out to the NBA community. And most importantly, big up to our Players Choice family. Y'all already know how we coming, man. Awesome show today, fellas. How y'all feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to talk Lakers, but I'm ready to see Seven take down ZZ today as well. So I'm excited to see ZZ's record go 1-1, and so you can shout out.
I heard ZZ earlier talking about his methods of madness and trying to figure out how he's going to win this one-on-one debate, and depending on what I say, he's going to be. I heard that. I heard him.
Yeah.
Listen, man, it's going down, man. Shout out again to everyone in the live chat. Sensation in the building. I see you, my G. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining LAKERLAND as always. Emilio in the building. We got the Lakers Nation rocking out with us, man. So let's get into things, man. Let's start off with our jump ball segment because it's going down. It's me and ZZ. Light Out. Can you put us on the screen, brother?
Yes, sir. I got you. All righty, get ready. And then the question of the day is going to be, who's going further this season? The Lakers or the Golden State Warriors? Go ahead, gentlemen.
There's no question about it. It's the Los Angeles Lakers. Just like last year, the Lakers are destined to me for some type of greatness. Golden State, your Warriors, ZZ, have a lineup problem. I don't even want to have a conversation with you right now about how far your team is going when y'all don't even really know what y'all going to do with Chris Paul. Y'all have a big issue trying to figure out rotations, trying to figure out pieces and impact. I am not sold at all that the Golden State Warriors, who I still got respect for, is going to be some type of major threat this upcoming season. As long as injuries permit, the Lakers are definitely moving on further than your Golden State Warriors.
See, here's the thing. I don't necessarily disagree with what Seven just said. As a matter of fact, I think that whoever came up with this question knew that it would be very hard for me to debate my Golden State Warriors against the Lakers, especially on a show called LAKERLAND, but it's fine. Here we are. We're
hear the excuses. Y'all hear the excuses, LAKERLAND? We ain't trying to hear that. We ain't trying to hear that.
Chat. Bear with me now. I agree with Seven. I cannot come on here and definitively say that the Golden State Warriors are going to go further than the Los Angeles Lakers because, like Seven just alluded to, we don't even know where Chris Paul's coming off the bench or if he's starting. With the Lakers, however, what differentiates these two teams is what Seven just alluded to: injuries. It's the only thing that I could possibly see where the Warriors will have a better shot of just going farther than the Los Angeles Lakers do because the Warriors' best two players can kind of stay on the court better than the Lakers' best two players. And like I said before, love Austin Reaves, who we're going to get into later on. But if you mean to tell me there's a possibility that we could see the Lakers with Anthony Davis and LeBron, missing some games this year due to injury and Austin Reaves having to step up and take on a bigger role, we can see that. So, but I'm not going to sit here and say that the Warriors are going to go farther than the Lakers, for anything based off of anything other than injuries for the Lakers. But yeah,
I think it's laughable that you're sitting here trying to tell the American public, ZZ, that the only difference between the Warriors and the Lakers would be an injury situation. So are you not going to sit up here and admit that my Lakers roster is better than your roster?
I just said that your Laker roster is better. But here's the thing too. I've seen a lot a lot of individuals come to the Los Angeles Lakers in the last 3 to 4 years, and I've seen a lot that haven't really worked out as well as we thought they would. Case in point, we talk back to the trade deadline last year, and everybody's talking about, oh yeah, D'Lo, Vando, Malik Beasley, and then who out of those, and every single one of those players became sort of expendable towards the end of the season. More specifically, D'Angelo Russell, because we've already talked about the fact that Gabe Vincent, the only reason that he's there is if D'Angelo Russell shits the bed again. My bad, I didn't mean to use that language. Let's go back to PG. If he craps the bed again. My point is, also Vando, we love Vando for his defensive abilities. But then once the once the playoffs got here, everybody's talking about how they can't use him because he can't do anything outside of play defense, which is
we can use him. Don't disrespect my guys. We're good. Don't worry about my guys. What about your man Draymond Green? The biggest liability in your organization. Talk about your people.
Liability.
The biggest liability. Draymond Green, respectfully, has single-handedly destroyed your organization and your franchise with his behavior.
Nah.
KD being gone.
We got a chip after KD.
Very true.
As a matter of fact, Draymond specifically told KD, "We don't need your bum ass. We don't need you." And what did KD do? He left. He said, "Oh, y'all need me? I bet. Let me go to Brooklyn." And replaced him with Andrew Wiggins, and we got another chip. So tell me how Draymond ruined our franchise.
Yo,
please,
we might have to.
Please tell me.
We might have to take some votes off ZZ and keep talking. Yo, all right, Shaq, you already know what's gonna happen, man. Let us know in the chat who won the jump ball. Was it 7 or was it ZZ? Please let us know. And then next week, winner's gonna face me in the jump ball segment. Right now, we got 1 vote for 7. So let's keep bringing it in. We got 7.
Right.
So right now, people are talking but not voting. I need 7
Make sure
or
in the
ZZ
building.
votes.
Nuggets fan in the building. Salute Nuggets fan. Nuggets fan say y'all might not make the play in, to be honest. Who are we talking about, Nuggets fan?
Are you talking about
the Lakers or the Warriors?
He's definitely talking about the Warriors. Let's be real. That's definitely who he's talking about.
LAKERLAND, if you're watching this, make sure to vote.
Making the play in. I think that's a step back. If your boys have a concern about making the play in, I think that's a step back.
I mean, there's no concern for us. I mean, between the two teams, both of them won a championship starting in the decade 2020. So it's like, we're chilling.
So it seems like it's a clear winner by sweep. Not like no game. Like if there was a 7-game series, 7-1-4. So congratulations, 7.
I just took the
Finally, ZZ
I just took the crown in the mid-game tournament, mid-season tournament. I just took ZZ crown.
You just took the
going
crown,
into
man.
the All-Star break. I'm feeling myself, bro.
ZZ has officially took his first L finally. So next week will be me and 7, and ZZ's gonna come off with the question. So I'm excited.
Oh, I can't wait to throw a question to 2 Laker fans and see which one.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. Answer. Yeah, he's gonna. I know ZZ is gonna shake it up Tuesday night, man. So
it's gonna be great. Y'all tune in.
Oh, we got
all right, people. Let's get into our show, man. We got an unbelievable lineup this afternoon. Y'all ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready. Hold on. Before we rock and roll, let's acknowledge the super chat real quick. Our first super chat ever. Congratulations to Christopher D.
Oh man, let's stop here. Let's stop here.
Yep.
That's right, Ryan, because we made history. Shout out to Christopher with our first ever super chat at LAKERLAND. Salute to you, brother.
All righty. So the question is, was debating the championship teams of the last 5 years, I had someone rank the 2022 Warriors over the 2020 Lakers. I disagree, but thoughts? Okay, this is great. All right, I love this question. ZZ, I want to hear from you. What you think about the 2022 Warriors and then the 2020 Lakers? And Christopher D, I don't know if you already acknowledged, who do you think was better? Let us know in the comments below.
He said he disagrees, so I assume he thinks the 2020 Lakers are better.
All right, so Z, what you think? What do you think? In a 7-game series, we got the 2022 Warriors and the 2020 Lakers. Who's winning that?
It's actually tough because the way I look at it, I'm thinking to myself, what did I love the most about the 2020 Lakers? It was their rebounding. That's what I love. Mm-hmm. The rebounding, the defense, the boards, all that. 2020 Lakers, you can make an argument that the better team, and it isn't egregious. For 2020, the only argument I can see for 2022 Warriors is Steph was on a tear that year. Kevon Looney was on a tear in the postseason. Andrew Wiggins can hold his own, apparently, and was holding his own by locking up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown pretty much simultaneously. So, and then the only knock that I had for that Warriors team once we got to the finals was obviously Draymond Green, crapping the bed and just going back and forth with Celtics fans every game. That was the only thing he did in that final series. But yeah, man, you could point to Steph Curry and Wiggins and Looney, guys that were stepping up.
Let me stop you right here. The Lakers are winning in 5 games. If that in a 7-game series, the Lakers are winning in 5 games. Let me explain why. This was the year that Anthony Davis had that shot in him. He could shoot. It didn't matter where he was in the court. That was the year that they sent the Denver Nuggets off that 1-3 that Anthony Davis had and said Kobe, and he made it. That was the year that Anthony Davis was a threat anywhere. In my version, the best Laker version of Anthony Davis was in 2020. So we got that Anthony Davis. We got Dwight Howard. So what are Draymond Green and Looney gonna do with those 2 guys? Plus, we had a guy of JaVale McGee. Let's not forget that we had a guy like Rajon Rondo with that pick and roll offense going on, lobbing it up to whoever was gonna catch it. And let's not forget that LeBron James was still arguably the best player in the world in that very time. So we're not talking about an older LeBron James. We are talking about a LeBron James exiting his prime. So I generally don't see the Golden State Warriors, although Steph Curry was cooking that year. And you could say that's what I'm about to ask you, because
we're talking about Steph Curry in his finals MVP run, right?
Yes.
So even though I'm sold on the defense that, Frank Vogel had with the Lakers during that pandemic period, but who would have really been able to contain Steph Curry from the perimeter?
That's what I was about to say. It don't matter. Who's guarding that version of Steph?
It matters a lot.
It don't matter.
If Marcus Smart, the defensive player of the year, Steph Curry, the defensive player of the year, not to mention the number one defense in the league.
But let's just
the number one defense in the league, who gave Kevin Durant his worst playoff series of his entire plus 15-year career. So you can say all you want about Anthony Davis, and I agree with you to the point that 2020 Laker AD was making a lot of shots that he isn't going to make today. And 2020 Laker LeBron is going to knock down a little bit more 3-pointers than he might knock down.
He would.
You know what I'm saying? 2020 Bron may even drive into that lane a little bit more than he does today. 2020 Bron didn't really have to worry about that many injuries outside of the groin injury from 2019. But other than that, yeah. But I'm saying, to Seven's point, who's stopping Steph? That's what I'm wondering. Because hey, Steph in the play-in 2021, what we saw in that play-in 2021.
I'm with you. I don't think anyone is stopping Steph, but I feel like they could make it difficult, like a guy as Alex Caruso. Curry will be the 3rd best player on the floor. Facts. You know what? Thank you for the super chat, brother. You are right. But when you look at,
thank you so much for the super chat, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it.
When you're looking at the fact, right? The fact that Steph Curry, it would be Steph Curry versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The thing about that Golden State team was that the heart and soul of that squad was Steph. The difference between Steph and that Warriors and our Lakers, that it was divided equally. Like, yes, you could make an argument that LeBron James was the best player, but there were players different single nights that were the key difference in winning basketball games. A game that you could say that Rondo won is that game. Anthony Davis won is that game. JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, Alex Caruso. We had Danny Green, although he played horrible during the NBA playoffs, he could hit some crucial shots. So when you look at that squad defensively, we got a guy as Danny Green and Alex Caruso that could run around and make it difficult, not stop Steph, make it difficult to Steph. And you said, and then you also think about, and you also think about what Clay or Wiggins or Draymond, when we start thinking about what they did during the NBA Finals, the pressure's gonna get to them. Unlike the Lakers. So I got the Lakers.
Hold on. You can't just bring up Danny Green and then somebody else said bring up KCP too, and then you're gonna say Klay Thompson and Draymond Green.
This is not an argument.
What they did in that series. Danny Green, if my memory serves me correct, Danny Green was getting clowned every single night on Twitter about the postseason run for the Los Angeles Lakers. Why? There's one play in particular that everybody remembers where LeBron drives in, gets double teamed, kicks it back to Danny Green, and Danny Green sold 1 million people's parlays that night. And not to mention KCP and his inconsistencies throughout that postseason run, literally having to have LeBron.
But I'm not talking about
to shoot the basketball.
I'm not worried about the offense though. I want Danny Green in the defense with KCP that I completely forgot we had. KCP and Alex Caruso doing their best to make it difficult for Steph Curry. You don't think Steph Curry's going to not struggle, but in a sense, not shoot like Steph Curry because those guys are
no. I understand, but I mean, the thing about this, the whole entire notion here is I personally think that you can't really go wrong with either team, because with the Lakers, you're going to get that defense and rebounding, which proved to be very vital for them to win that championship. With the Warriors, on the other hand, they started off the season 17-3. So, and this was before Klay Thompson got there. The Warriors as a unit were an offensive machine. So it's like to make up for the lack of rebounding that they may get from anybody outside of Kevon Looney and maybe Andrew Wiggins in the finals.
Right.
They make up for in their offensive game. They had valuable guys off the bench that were knocking down shots. Bielitsa, Jordan Poole, Gary Payton, the list goes on. And the starters was a unit in and of itself with Steph and Klay once Klay got back and everything like that. So, when you're looking at it from the defensive side of the ball and the rebounding side of the ball with the Lakers, solid argument, solid case. I'm with you. I don't even like hating on the 2020 Lakers. I defend them the majority of the time because people say that it was a asterisk or a Mickey Mouse ring or whatever. I don't like that. That team was going to win the championship whether you like it or not, whether they were in front of people or not, because of what they had on that squad, the coaching, and all of that. The 2022 Warriors, what separated them from the pack was earlier on in that season, once they went 17-3, I said they're going to win the championship, because when you looked at that squad and the camaraderie that they had and the chemistry that they had, it was great to see. You obviously didn't see it in 2023, albeit Draymond socked Jordan Poole in the jaw, but I mean, still, the chemistry was completely off. So you can't go wrong with either team. And I like you bringing up Rondo. I love you bringing up Rondo because Rondo was that MFer.
Yeah, he was a key factor of that team. He was a key factor of that team. So yeah, I still say Lakers in 5. You say in 7 games, easy. Who you got?
Honestly, I'm not going to say Lakers in 5. In a 7-game series, I can see it going Lakers in 7. I see it going 7, honestly, because I'm thinking to myself, while we looked at AD and he was on a monumental run, I'm thinking we looked at this squad and I'm thinking, okay, we looked at this squad in the bubble. We looked at this squad in home arenas and away crowds and all. I mean, Steph's game 4 was in Boston. He said, I don't give a damn where we are. I don't give a damn about your leprechaun. I don't give a damn how many racist fans you have in here. I'm going to cook you and get my 4th ring in front of all of these people. And there's nothing you could do about it. Steph was on a mission. Steph was just on a mission that entire postseason. It was incredible. So I see it going 7 either way. Flip a coin. I don't care.
7. Who in 7 games? The 2022 Warriors and then the 2020 Lakers in 7 games. Who's winning?
I already said the Lakers. Easy. I mean, that's not even up for question. The only
but
concern again that I had. I mean, I can't really call it. I mean, you saying 5 to me is blasphemous. I got a little bit more respect than that. But I mean, 6 or 7. 6 or 7. 6 or
That's
7.
Fair.
But
I'm with that. I'm with that.
In 5, ladies and
moving right along, LakerLand. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the Players Choice platform, make sure you guys hit that subscribe. And also join our membership. Become a part of the Players Choice family. We definitely appreciate you guys and your support. Let's get into our main topic of this afternoon show. I want to talk about the big homie AR-15, Austin Reaves. Fellas, going into his 3rd season, Austin Reaves has just been a name that has given a lot of impact. He seems to be box office, especially going into this upcoming season. Let me start off with you first, Lightout. Will Austin Reaves be an all-star this upcoming season?
That's tough because when you look at the Western Conference guards, obviously Steph and Luka for me are locks. I mean, those are lock starters. So obviously, if Austin Reaves gonna be in the All-Star, he's definitely not gonna be a starter. So you gotta start looking at the reserves. We start looking at guys like Fox. We start looking at guys like who I'm missing a one over my head. Who am I missing? We got Fox.
John Morant. That's who the hell you missing.
John Morant.
Yeah,
John Morant is not making the All-Star this year. And the only reason why he's missing 44 games this season, I don't think he's gonna get voted in, or I think he's gonna miss the All-Stars due to the
he's missing 25. That's his suspension is 25, I think.
I thought it's 4. It's in the 40s. Chat.
I thought it was 30.
Chat.
So all of us got it wrong. I thought he was
Chat,
suspended for 30 games.
Chat, if you're watching this, please fact check us right now. How many games is John Moran missing? And if I'm right, and he's missing 4, it's a 25 game suspension.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank
25
you.
games.
Once again, ZZ strikes again.
Yo, my bad. I thought it was 44. All right, 25 games. All right, John, that is a clear lock then. All right. We got John Moran in there. We got Fox. Who else in guards that I'm missing? There you go. Shea Gilchrist, Alexander. And then we start looking at like, okay, is Anthony Edwards gonna explode like we think he is? Is De'Aaron Fox gonna repeat what he did last season? And when you start looking at all these factors, literally the stars have to align so Austin Reaves can make the All-Star. So my answer is most likely no, he is not going to be an All-Star.
See, I'm not unlike my co-host Light Out
now,
Sports.
Your response though, Light Out, is it because of production or is it because of that's going to be best for the Lakers? You don't think he's going to be good enough statistic-wise to be an All-Star?
No, I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be the third best player on this team. But when you start looking at the other guards in the Western Conference, I just don't think he's going to produce as much to get in the All-Star as a guy like De'Aaron Fox, a guy like Anthony Edwards, guys that are coming from the bench in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I agree with them. Unlike Mike,
do you feel like Austin Reaves is going to be an All-Star this season?
No. I'm not, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it either. I'm not going to say most likely not. He's not going to be an All-Star this year. That's like, now give him a couple more seasons maybe, depending on how things shape up. I don't think Austin Reaves makes an All-Star team until LeBron leaves the Lakers personally. However, I'm expecting him to average, anywhere north of 15 points per game, great efficiency. I'm expecting him to continue to rise with his stats, but I'm not expecting an all-star leap from Austin Reaves. He's not Nuggets fan pointed out perfectly. He's not sneaking up or sneaking past De'Aaron Fox next season, SGA. Even John Morant, if he wasn't even eligible.
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray.
What about Drew Holiday? Drew Holiday was an all-star last year, I believe. You don't think Austin Reaves could surpass Drew Holiday?
No, Drew Holiday deserved it. He's in the East too, but he also deserved it.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I'm talking about this upcoming season when we're talking about guys that could be possibly replaced at that spot. You feel like Drew has a solidified guard spot in the All-Star game?
Drew deserved it for sure, because when you look back at that, I'm addressing somebody in the chat that said Drew didn't deserve it. Drew deserved it when you look at what he did without Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez in the regular season. He was missing a bunch of bodies and was getting the Bucks wins, dropping 40 pieces. Stop playing with Drew Holiday. But back to your question. For Austin, I just I don't see him sneaking past or having a solidified case over other guys unless LeBron and Anthony Davis get hurt and then Austin Reaves is carrying the way the entire time. That's the only way that I could logically see him even getting a significant amount of all-star votes that aren't fan votes, is if something like that happens and he has to carry the load the same exact way Drew Holiday did for his team last year, which is why he got the all-star selection. But I don't think that's
I think Austin Reaves has a higher chance of making the all-star than Josh Giddey.
Really?
I mean, the all-star.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. Yeah.
Making the all-star team would be detriment for the Lakers if Austin Reaves was to do so. I think that from a skill position, he has the tools to improve his numbers and be more of an offensive impact this year than last year. I was kind of impressed with him coming off of that second unit in the FIBA World Cup. I think he kind of got exposed a little bit on the defensive end, but he still showed a lot of clutch gene and stuff like that. But you're talking about a guy who averaged 13 points last season, I think it was like 13, 3 and 3 last season in the regular season. I just don't think, like Lighthouse said, it's going to make sense for him to step up his numbers on a scoring element to make an all-star team. Like, they have so many other pieces that they need to be worried about as far as improvement. You're looking at RuiHachimura, the expectations we had with him, Christian Wood, the availability of LeBron and Anthony Davis. I don't think that Austin Reaves needs to be that guy that has to carry this squad. I just think that he needs to know his role, understand it, and play it at an elite level. And I think he'll be good to go. But making the all-star team, I just don't believe that him making an all-star team this season, I don't think it's going to be good for the Lakers, because I think it would go against, what Darvin Ham actually has set for those guys.
So to that point, yes, I think we all agree that he's not going to be an all-star this year. But when it comes to him stepping up, I do believe he needs to step up. He needs to be the solidified third option on this team. I don't think a guy like RuiHachimura, D'Angelo, they should be the guys that when you look at them, right? When you look at them, you're like, all right, this guy could win me a game in a random night. Austin Reaves has to be the consistent factor, besides LeBron James and Anthony Davis, of course, the consistent factor on that team. If we want to be this great team that wants to win a championship, Austin Reaves, he proved it last season in the playoffs. He was consistent all year round in the regular season and the playoffs. I think Austin Reaves needs to step up and become, like, when we look at that team, we got to start thinking like, okay, you know what? Austin Reaves is the third option on the Lakers. So, yeah, I definitely do believe that he needs to step up and be that third option.
Word.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, ZZ, where would you rank Austin Reaves currently as a Laker? Like, what do you put him at? Is he like the third or fourth best player on the Lakers team right now as constructed? How do you rank him?
I would say, because I'm ranking him based off of going in the next season. And so there's a lot of guys that may have been acquired in the offseason that I'm not going to put ahead of Austin Reaves because they haven't done more than he has for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Wait, whoa. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to cut you off, CZ and 7. Shat, what are you guys talking about? RuiHachimura better than Austin Reaves. What are we talking about? Ron, this guy is basically our boss. This guy is tripping.
Would you say
RuiHachimura is not what? Ron, what the hell are you talking about? What? Yo, this is why you're an L host. There's no way that RuiHachimura is, or Christian Wood is better than Austin Reaves. No, you guys are crazy. I'm sorry.
Whoa. Slow your roll. Wait a minute, light out. You don't think RuiHachimura got a better upside than Austin Reaves?
No, he's just like he's in all these Kawhi Leonard. You know, like there's like the public brand, all these Kawhi Leonard. That's what he is. He's good. He's gonna get you buckets. He's gonna start. But when I look at Austin Reaves, when you look, okay, so let's say LeBron James and Anthony Davis disappear from the Lakers magically, right? And then we just got RuiHachimura and Austin Reaves. I'm not running my offense through RuiHachimura. If anything, Austin Reaves will be my first option, and then RuiHachimura will come in second. He's the Scottie Pippen to Austin Reaves.
He's the Scottie Pippen to Austin Reaves.
Wait a minute. I am blown away with your comments this afternoon, bro. Are you serious or are you trolling us?
I'm not trolling. I'm being for real.
I really got to talk to the bosses, bro. What
are we talking about?
Because I'm looking at both ends of the basketball court, and you're sitting here trying to sell me, ZZ, LAKERLAND, and the American public that Austin Reaves has a better upside than RuiHachimura on both ends of the court. Did you not watch the playoffs last year?
Okay. Who's the greatest player of all time for you, 7?
LeBron James.
Okay, so isn't Michael Jordan a better defender than LeBron? No, my God.
I mean, maybe.
Okay, no, not maybe.
He has more accolades on the defensive end.
It's yes, right? So it doesn't matter. Austin Reaves is good enough in the defensive end. I'm not saying that he is in the same tier as RuiHachimura, but he is good enough in the defensive end that he's still a factor. But when you look at the offensive end, what he brings, he's a guy that makes a three. He's a guy that can drive in. He can finish. He is not afraid of big moments. He has proved it year in and year out. Well, it's only been his second season, but still. And you look at it. This is his second season in the NBA. He is still a sophomore. His last year was his sophomore year in the NBA. And when we start looking at upside and you start comparing what Austin Reaves is doing right now compared to RuiHachimura, that has
DJ,
been
stay in your lane,
league,
DJ.
That has been
Stay in
in
your
the
lane, DJ.
has been in
You
the
gotta
league
stay
for
in your lane,
multiple
DJ.
years. I don't know.
Stay in your lane, DJ. Rui has better numbers offensively than Austin Reaves. Rui will have more of an offensive responsibility this upcoming season than Austin Reaves. So I don't know what you're talking about, DJ.
I don't know
What
about
are
that.
you
clear
talking
on that.
Wait, what are you talking about, Seth? What do you mean that Rui has
From a
more
scoring, wait a
responsibility?
minute. From a scoring standpoint, light out. If you know basketball, you're gonna sit up here and try to tell me that Austin Reaves is gonna have more of an impact responsibility scoring.
Yes,
than Rui?
yes.
How?
What
How?
do you?
When has a point guard ever had more of an impact scoring than a small forward?
Steph Curry. Okay, next question. You look.
Steph
and
is
you
not
look
even
at-
a true point guard.
Yeah, he's still. Yo, how many true point guards we have in the league? 7.
2.
What do you mean?
How
There's
many
enough.
true-
There's
No,
a
no, no,
handful
no,
of true
no,
floor
no,
generals.
How many?
There's a
true
handful of
floor-
floor. They
how
got
many-
one on that team. Chris Paul. They got one on that damn team.
Okay,
What you talking about?
and who else?
So are you saying that Chris Paul is
No,
the
no, no,
only
no, no,
floor
no, no,
general?
no, no,
You got
no, no, no,
Lonzo Ball. You got Lonzo Ball, who's a true point guard. You got
And
Kyrie
Dirk.
Irving, who's a true point guard. Are you kidding?
Wait, whoa!
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Kyrie is
not a point guard. Kyrie is not a
Oh, wait,
facilitator.
wait. So
Is Kyrie Irving not a facilitator? Yes or no?
Is Steph Curry not a
No.
facilitator?
If Steph Curry is going to be looked
Is
at,
Kyrie Irving not a facilitator? Yes or no? Can he not
He's
pass the
not.
ball?
If Steph is not a facilitator,
he's not.
Kyrie's not a facilitator.
Steph Curry is a better playmaker than Kyrie Irving.
I'm
Give me
not
Steph
comparing.
Curry.
I'm not comparing Steph and Kyrie. I'm talking about Kyrie specifically. I'm not comparing Steph Curry. I said Steph Curry to me. Is not
I'm
a
going
true
by your
point guard.
logic, 7. I'm going by your logic, 7. So Steph is not a. If Steph is not a facilitator, Kyrie's not a facilitator either. You know who else is not a
How?
facilitator?
They don't
Damian
play the
Lillard.
same style of play. How you figure that? They don't have the same
They're
style of play.
both scoring. They're both. CZ takeover.
Kyrie Irving.
You can't ask that man for
literally-
an alley-oop when you set up here talking about they on the
'cause
same level.
this
They don't
is
even
like-
play the
this is-
same. They
this
don't even
is-
have the same
this
style
is-
of play.
I
So
know,
explain that to me.
CZ.
ZZ can't save you.
This is his lane. I don't need to say anything. I don't need to say anything.
ZZ can't
I
save
asked
you.
you a question. No, okay, 7. Put it just me and you then. That's fine. 7.
Is Dame a
7.
true point guard? Yes,
7.
Dame
No,
is
no,
a
no.
true point guard.
7. So what is the difference between Dame and Steph Curry that makes Dame a true point guard and Steph Curry not? Let's just start off there.
I'm interested to hear that too.
Facilitating, number one.
What does he do?
Number one. Do you not
No, no, no.
understand the definition of facilitating? Do I
7.
need to bring out the dictionary for that?
7.
Tell me how he's a better facilitator than Steph Curry.
Saying the word facilitating doesn't prove your point. What does he do?
How doesn't? How you going to tell me how to prove my point? You was just looking for ZZ for an assist. Are you kidding me?
No, I want you, 7. I want you to let me know. I want you to let me know.
I
what
just
he
let
does
you know.
facilitating. You just
Facilitating.
said the word
Facilitating. Do I need to
facilitating.
spell it out?
What does he does? What does he does? What does he do facilitating wise? What does he do in the aspect
Do
of
you not
basketball?
understand the definition light out of what facilitating is?
7,
Let's
I
start
just
there.
want to know. I just want to know what does
Let's start
Dame
with
do?
knowing that you can identify the definition of the word. Let's start with confirmation of that.
7. What does facilitate? What in the facilitating aspect
Do
does
you
Dame
not know what
do?
facilitating means?
Passing the ball, making plays for the team. That's what it means. So I want you, Dame. I want to.
Yeah, I don't think he knows either, bro.
7,
I don't
7,
think he knows
7,
either.
7. I want you to let me know what Dame does compared to Steph Curry facilitating. Break down his game for me. Please break down his game for me. I want you to break down his game.
F word probably about 3 or 4 times. He dropped an F bomb.
No, 7.
I'm not gonna break down his game. This is not a show for Dame's game to be broken down. We're talking about AR-15.
Let me just.
No, because you said no. You can't.
I'm
just
not
say,
breaking
you
down
can't just say-
Damian Lillard's game.
Because you don't have an answer on why Dame is facilitating differently than Steph Curry.
I already gave you an
Steph-
answer. I gave you an answer. You sitting up there with you're sitting up there having a hard time understanding the definition of the answer that I gave you. That's your problem. That's not my problem. But we're not going to break down Damian Lillard in a segment of Austin Reaves. I know I'm not.
So saying facilitating and not explaining.
Watch how
just
I'll
backing
facilitate
up.
this conversation. I'm about to show you better than I can tell you. I'll give you a prime example. Light out.
Okay,
What are the strengths and weaknesses of AR-15's game?
we're just gonna skip over the fact that you just said that Damian
Yeah,
Lillard's a
we're gonna
facilitator
move
and Steph Curry's not.
like Damian
No, because you
Lillard topic.
understand
This
that
is
you're.
an Austin Reaves topic.
It's crazy.
That's
That
why
is
we're
crazy what
moving
you
on.
said. It's crazy
That's why
what you
we're moving
said.
on.
Okay,
Well,
one
we're
question, and I'll
moving.
continue talking about Austin Reaves. One question before Austin Reaves. You said Kyrie Irving. You said Kyrie Irving and Damian Lillard are both facilitators and not Steph Curry. And the only word you gave me is facilitating. What? Because when and let me answer, because you just keep saying the F word, right? Facilitating.
The F
You
word.
could say that LeBron James facilitates differently than a guy like Jokic. Jokic facilitates more through the post, the way that he runs down, he goes to the post, and he looks for his teammates. Also, he could go at the top of the key. He analyzed the whole arc, and he sees where Michael Porter Jr. is, Aaron Gordon, and he finds a way to get them open, and they score. That's a way that he facilitates. Unlike LeBron James does it differently. LeBron James drives in and he finds the open man, or he makes a play because he's one of the greatest facilitators of all time, and he could just find an open man in the corner without really seeing him. Those are differences. I just want to know, what is the difference between Steph and Dame? What do they do differently that you say that Dame is a facilitator and Steph isn't? That's all I want to know.
DJ, we are going to actually open up the panel in the second hour. So if you can stick around, definitely hang tight, and I'll drop the link so you can come up and you can give us your thoughts and opinion on Austin Reaves. But I am still sitting here waiting for Light Out to continue on with this show that we have and give me some strengths and weaknesses of AR-15.
I just asked you a question.
Talking me to death about Dame and Steph and Kyrie.
I just asked you.
I already answered that question. I answered that question a few times with the answer facilitating. And I don't know why you're not able to hop off of it, but we need to move on. So I'll start with ZZ then. ZZ, do you have some strengths or weaknesses for Austin Reaves that we can kind of get into going into this upcoming season?
I think a strength for him would be shot creation, or an underrated strength for him would be shot creation. When I look at AR-15, the way that man be driving down the lane and being able to just basically pull a shot back and then pull up with a little mid-range in the faces of whoever's guarded can be able to knock that down. His elbow jumper is very, very underrated. From a shooting perspective, I only see his shooting going up because, I mean, he's only been in the league for 2 seasons. And in that time, we've seen him go from 46% from the field to 53%, and then 32% from 3 to 40%. So I think that we're going to see him, especially when you add on the fact that he's going to get more minutes because he averaged 28 a game last year in minutes. And in his rookie year, he was getting 23. He's going to get more minutes. He's going to get more playing time. We'll see where he fits. Because another thing, too, I'm going to ask y'all are Laker fans. Is Austin Reaves starting this year? Is he starting, or is he going to come off the bench?
He should be starting at the 2 spot.
I would assume he would be starting. Now, in that lineup, though, is where you have to ask yourself where he's going to fit in. Because if he's starting alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis, I think that LeBron is going to, or AD is probably going to get the majority of the shots between everybody else in the starting lineup, and then LeBron, and then who's that third option? I think it'll be Austin Reaves more so than RuiHachimura, because I think Rui's role is going to definitely be more catered to him coming off the bench with that bench unit that can make that unit so deadly. So yeah, I see from and the weakness for Austin Reaves would definitely be from the defensive side of the ball, as we saw in the FIBA World Cup. But it's like, that's something that can also be worked on. He has a motor. He's one of those players where it's like, if he's giving it his all, he can, impact another player that he's guarding. Just sometimes you can do that just off effort alone. So yeah, let's go. What are we feeling? Light out. Let me know.
Yeah, defense.
Mm-hmm.
How far? What's up?
Oh no, I was going to ask you, but go ahead.
As far as what? What's your question?
What you saw with his weaknesses or and strengths?
I mean, defense is a cause to pause to me. I feel like he's a good decision maker. I think decision making is a great strength. I think he's clutch and he is not afraid of the moment. I think that is the biggest strength with Austin Reaves. Anybody that doesn't shy away from the big moment always seem to look good when you playing alongside guys like LeBron James. So, him having that heart and those guts, I think that is the biggest strength for him. I'm starting to see Austin Reaves kind of gravitate to the public, so he's starting to become a household name out here in the streets. He's becoming box office. I just think, again, defensively, I have a little concern for that. I do believe he can get better on the defensive end. I'm not sold that he'll be so much a lockdown defender, but, weakness, I would probably say defense. But what I see in his strengths definitely supersede that, man. That's why I really am a big fan of Austin.
Bet. All right, so what's next on the agenda?
So when it comes to Austin Reaves, fellas, what type of future will he actually provide the Los Angeles Lakers? Is Austin Reaves someone that the Lakers can keep for some time? And when I say build around him, I don't mean as far as a star, as him being like a star, but does he have the intangibles and does he bring the skill set, the bag that you could really keep him, lock him in for 4 or 5 years and really, use him to effectiveness to try to get an NBA championship? Is he one of those guys?
Yeah,
because I believe he is.
You look at Austin Reaves. He's slowly becoming an option defensively when you are game planning against the LA Lakers. You look at him and you gotta start, paying attention to Austin Reaves. I think that's what a lot of defenses didn't plan on last season, was this explosive. The explosion is in the emergence of Austin Reaves, a guy that could play make without touching the basketball. He could run around. And the defense will be looking at him because he's such a threat, and he will facilitate without even touching the basketball, like Steph Curry. And when you just look at all these things around Austin Reaves, like, yes, his weakness is defense. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like he's a Luka Doncic in a sense of like the man can't play a lick of defense. I mean, if you put him in the right matchup, right? You think, Austin Reaves is going to defend probably like a guy against Steph Curry, the guys like John Morant, the guys his size. He could bother them enough. And I mean, there's a great upside, and I will lock it down.
That's cool. So Lakerland, y'all let us know. Matter of fact, we're going to switch some things up. I'm going to drop the link real quick in the live chat. If you guys want to come up and give your opinion on Austin Reaves, we'll chop it up with you guys for a few minutes as we're about to go into halftime of the show. So give me a second. I'll drop this link. We'll keep you guys up for a couple of minutes if you got some thoughts and opinions on the Austin Reaves topic. Make sure, again, you guys smash that like button if you're new to the Players Choice platform.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you guys subscribe, join the membership, become a part of the Players Choice family. We are about to get into our irrelevant topic with ZZ as we wait for anyone to want to come up on a panel. ZZ, you got some things you want to let the people know what we got going on and what's happening around the NBA?
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's dive deep into it. Pause. So last time that we were talking, I think I was trying to get y'all's opinion on Dame. That's been the most dominating story, I guess, of the offseason outside of, Bradley Beal going to the Suns or anything like that. But apparently there's no trade imminent for Damian Lillard. The Portland Trailblazers have been desperately trying to find deals with other teams outside of Miami, which is weird because that's not where Dame wants to go. So basically they're just stalling at this point. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm getting tired of talking about Dame. So I'm going to talk about Dwight Howard. The Warriors are not expected to sign Dwight Howard or another veteran center ahead of training camp. That pisses me off a lot. It really does. Mike Dunleavy Jr. Let me tell you about Mike Dunleavy Jr. The first time I ever saw Mike Dunleavy Jr. or heard of him, it was in 2015 when I was a fan of this team right here and this player right here, Derrick Rose. Dunleavy was not really a 3-and-D guy, more just a 3 Like him and Nikola Mirotic were the same exact player to me, but I loved them because they could shoot threes. Now, 8 years later, he's he's an executive for the Warriors and is supposed to make these decisions. And clearly the Warriors need a big, like clearly. Clearly, Kevon Looney, if we don't get a big, Kevon Looney deserves a statue outside of Chase Center in the next 20 years. Because good Lord, there's no reason. There is no reason that Kevon Looney should be doing the things that he does from a rebounding perspective. So I'm going to ask y'all not just this question about Dwight Howard coming to the Warriors and how, because we all know that that's something that's needed. Does Dwight Howard belong on a team in the league still at his age?
Yes, he does. I mean, I don't think he'll be Dwight Howard of the past, but I do think that he could be a veteran center that could come off the bench and get you a couple rebounds, catch a couple lobs. I mean, I feel like he was perfect for Golden State. I mean, I thought that was a done deal. I wasn't expecting Dwight Howard to be prime Dwight Howard. Obviously, that's not what I was saying. But he would fit perfectly with that offense in Golden State with the pick and roll and stuff. What's up, Wicked Jump Shot?
What up, guys? Salute, guys.
Salute, family.
Salute, brother.
What's up? What type of question you want to ask us today?
Thank you for joining us.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm glad y'all got the show. I'm definitely a basketball fan, but Lakers, I pay attention to the Lakers. So I just think that Austin Reaves. I think that Austin Reaves. I think that it's real. It's not a fraud. It's not a fake. I believe he put the work in, and people they hate on the Lakers because that's what they do. They like to hate on the Lakers.
And we are the most hated.
Is he an all-star to you, bro?
Well, he had to short this year. I mean, last year the Lakers got off to a slow start, and when they made those trades, they picked it up. So he looked good in the playoffs, and he looked good in the second half of the season. But he had to have a complete season to say he's an all-star. So we have to see it this year.
Wicked, I got a question for you now that you're here. So let's say Austin Reaves does make the All-Star, right? What player needs to come out the All-Star that, if you could think about players that made it last season, has to come out for a guy like Austin Reaves to come in? Who would be that player for you?
That's a great question. Well, you got players like Ja Morant. You got players like Damian Lillard.
Yep.
Did Anthony Edwards, did he make the All-Star team?
I believe so. Yes, he did. He actually did make the All-Star last season. Yes.
So I would just say those three, but everybody else is pretty much a lock. He's not going to surpass Booker. He's not going to surpass Steph. He's not going to surpass, the cream of the crop. So I would say those guys.
So you'll say that Austin Reaves has a chance.
Wait a minute. I'm not going to let you get away with that wicked jump shot. Did you just sit up here and say Damian Lillard?
I mean, if that's the top three, I would say he has a chance to. Those top three. Everybody else is a lock.
You got to think.
Why in the world, wicked jump shot, would Austin Reaves have a chance to make the All-Star team over Damian Lillard? What's your concern with Damian Lillard this upcoming season?
Well, he's coming off an injury. And he's a little older in his career, and plus he's disgruntled. So you don't know how that's going to play out. We have to see how it plays out because he's disgruntled. He's coming off an injury, so it remains to be seen. Now, of course, all time, it's no close. Damian Lillard's a top player of all time. But the fact he's coming off an injury and Austin Reaves is he's steady rising, he might have a chance.
I respect it. DJ in the building. DJ, what's up, bro?
What's good?
Oh, man, salute, fam. What's your thoughts on Austin Reaves?
I wouldn't say that the All-Star, but I think he's very great, especially for the role he's going to be in. I think, he's a high IQ player, great passer, underrated handle too. Knows how to cook people off the dribble, great in-between game, knows how to get to that floater or that mid-range, can finish in contact, great get and ones, can shoot off the catch, shoot the three-point line. Like, there's it's a bunch of stuff he can do. Like, he can, even though he's not the best defender, we know he's a bad defender, but he gives effort. He like, sometimes he gets those scrappy little steals, like say, if somebody's posting him up and they try to do like a spin move, he'll know how to get that ball out of there. Like, it's like a bunch of, like, it seems like he's always making the right play. Like,
you said that he's a third. You feel like he is a true third option for the Lakers?
when I watch him, I just like, I don't know. It's just every time he's on the court, it feels like.
I don't know if we losing. Can y'all hear DJ? Or is that just
Nah.
me?
He cut out.
Whatever he's supposed to do, especially on offense, decisions.
Yo, D, you cutting out, bro.
He's still cutting out. All right, DJ, you going in and out, bro. So if you can try to get your reception back in, man, definitely come back. We'd love to have you back on joining this Wicked Jump Shot. Thank you so much for joining us real quick, bro, as we move on to our next topic, bro. Appreciate you.
Yo, I'm so sorry that I had to leave like that, man. My computer just died, but I wanted to say something real quick about the whole Austin Reaves over Damian Lillard. Is Dame gonna play if he doesn't get traded? Is that something that we're gonna factor? Like, I don't think it's crazy to say that Austin Reaves could make it over. If Austin Reaves obviously make it, I don't think he's gonna make it. But if there was a chance over Damian Lillard, is Damian Lillard going to play this season? Like, you know, ZZ was talking about the irrelevant segment. Is he gonna play if he doesn't get traded from Portland after all this drama he has cost the organization?
That's a fair point.
You basically calling him you saying that Dame is a non-professional. That's what we doing today?
I mean, he's been taking everything non-professionally. He's been going.
Do you believe Dame is not a professional?
As of right now, yeah, I don't think he's being professional. He's going to podcasts and talking trash about other players in the league. Jason Tatum called him to come ahead and go to Boston. He's just being a whole diva about going to a designated spot. And I don't think Damian Lillard is on the level to dictate where he wants to go. I don't think he's that good I don't think he's that good. Listen, I don't think he's that good to be calling his own shots. I get it. He has done everything for Portland. He has done, he gave his heart and soul to that organization. But when I'm looking at Damian Lillard and the other players in the NBA, I think if he's really trying to get traded, he needs to accept whatever team wants to pick him. And if he wants to win a championship, he's not going to win in Miami. So I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what is in his head. I think he.
Did we lose him?
I'm glad he got cut off. I am so glad Light Out got cut off. That is ridiculous.
Let me just chime in with so Dame not being professional is just wild to me because
that is super wild, bro. What is wrong with him?
To me, and I've been on the Dame shut the hell up train for a while. I've just been tired of Dame one day waking up and saying, "Oh, the league is different now. Everybody wants to team up. I want to be loyal." Blah 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 blah. All the way to I've done everything for this organization, and blah, blah, blah. Like Dame and Portland's relationship in the last 5 years has been very very volatile. Very very just ugly divorce papers on the table looking like it's weird. But to say that Dame doesn't have enough enough on his resume to call the shots is crazy to me. The only reason the Portland Trailblazers have been relevant since the year 2000, when did Dame get drafted? 2012, I think. Since then, so for the last decade, the only reason that they have been relevant has been Damian Lillard. Even in the seasons where they're not relevant, they're still kind of relevant because it's like, oh, Dame can drop 70 points on the Houston Rockets, and we all know that it doesn't mean anything because Portland isn't going to make the playoffs this year. But Dame at least was still, a sideshow attraction for people in Portland. So to say that he didn't have like any other reason, to act the way that he's acting, I don't necessarily think that he's acting unprofessional. I think that Dame has given all that he can to this organization, and through hell and high water has tried to say, you know what? I'm not listening to the noise. I don't care what the fans want. I don't care what the fans want me to do with my career. I'm going to stay in Portland, blah, 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 because you guys have promised me that you're going to give me Kevin Durant and Paul George and LeBron.
I just think he accepted the bag, and now he regrets accepting the bag. It reminded me a lot of Carmelo Anthony when he accepted the bag in New York. So, I mean,
Melo was a different story, I feel like.
But,
Melo had an opportunity to team up with LeBron and Dwayne Wade and guarantee himself a championship.
And Damian Lillard had multiple chances to go to a championship team and decided to stay in Portland for that bag. So I got no sympathy because people don't have sympathy for a guy like Carmelo Anthony. People don't have sympathy for a guy like James Harden, although James Harden did it absolutely more unprofessional than Damian Lillard has ever done it. And we started looking at other players that basically sat out. I mean, even Anthony Davis, that he wanted to be a Laker so bad, it worked. But the man literally sat out. You look at a guy like Kawhi Leonard as well in San Antonio. Although he had a legitimate injury, he should have been back on that court way earlier than he was. That he decided not to play, and then they sent him to Toronto. So yeah, I just don't. I'm not gonna give him the sympathy that he's been in Portland for so many years, and now he wants to get a ring. He wants to win a championship. This is all his fault. He's in this scenario because at the end of the day, he was thinking about a bag, and he didn't look at the history, and the history is repeating itself. Like guys like Melo, guys like James Harden, and now Damian Lillard, and now he's trying his best to force himself out, not just to any team, but to the Miami Heat.
I mean, fair. My thing is like, now that I think about it, I saw a video on YouTube the other day. I didn't watch it, but I saw it come up on my recommended, and it said something about like players and entitlement, or players in this day and age with their entitlement. Do y'all feel like in our generation or era, if you will, there's a big focal point on entitlement in terms of some of our star players? Because I'm looking at James Harden, bro. James Harden has had probably the most tumultuous 3-year stretch for one individual player who wanted to get away from one team. When he wanted to get away from Houston, he wanted to go to the Brooklyn Nets. Everybody and their mama was like, oh my God, Katie, James Harden, and Kyrie on the same team. What the world, whatever. Championship or bust. It's a bust. Then he gets tired of Brooklyn, which granted I don't mind because Brooklyn was very dysfunctional, and he wants to go to Philly. Ironically, which was more dysfunctional than Brooklyn was, and then he wants out of Philly now to go Lord knows where to another championship contender. James Harden is going out sad right now, and it is looking very, very embarrassing. Go ahead, Seven.
All right, we're going to move on to our next topic of the show here at Lakerland. Big fan Breezy is in the building. Breezy, salute, gang. Appreciate you joining us this afternoon. I wanted you and DJ to join us for our next segment if you guys had a minute, so appreciate you joining us.
Nah, I appreciate you. I ain't gonna lie, I was listening more than anything. I got 1 minute. I live in New York, so I'm about to hop on a train real quick. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'll probably gotta jump in the chat.
Say your piece.
I wanted to say Austin Reaves, he's not a two-way player. There's other players in front of him that might get that all-star spot. He made my guy Mikal Bridges look real bad with that trip and fall. And we play the Lakers, man, and game 1 in the preseason, man. We got to get some get back, man.
That's a fact.
I get you, man.
Going down.
Yo,
appreciate you, Breezy, for tapping in with us, though, bro.
I'm going to jump in the chat, y'all.
All right, salute, G.
Hello, is my connection still not working? Can y'all hear me?
No, we hear you, DJ.
Yeah,
what's
good
up?
Now, DJ. You good to go, bro. So let's get into our next topic of discussion real quick. I want to move on, but I do want to include you, DJ, on this next topic. This is a throwback topic. We were talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar earlier in the week, and Lightout had brought up a good point or a good question. How would Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fare in today's game as a player? Lightout, I'm going to start off with you because you came up with this. What do you think about Kareem? How would he actually fare in today's game of basketball?
All right, before I say anything, again, I got to say the props. I got to say everything good about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar before I say what I got to say. Kareem, when we're talking about accomplishments, when we're talking about what he has done in the game of basketball, he is the greatest ever. I mean, look at what he done in college. Look what he's done in the NBA. Just based on accomplishments and awards that he's done, there's no other player in NBA history that is as accomplished as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So let's just leave it right there. Now, when I'm looking at his game, when I look at the 80s and early 90s of his career, I just don't believe that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to be way leagues ahead, like a guy like Jokic, and a guy like Joel Embiid. I just don't think that a guy that has one signature move, and I've watched the highlights, I've done my homework on this guy, and a guy that really, like, although he is the all-time scoring champion before LeBron, obviously, all-time scoring leader of all time, I don't think his style of play will work in today's game at all. So I genuinely don't see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar doing as good as he was doing.
Bruh.
That's your boy, ZZ. That's your boy talking.
Bruh.
I mean, I'm one of those guys who I don't think a lot of people back then would be able to compete now just because of evolution. Like, I'm just one of those guys. So I kind of agree with Lights Out on this, but I know Kareem's play, his touch around the rim will benefit him in today's game. So I think Kareem might be a slight exception to that because of how his shot is just hard to even stop as it is. So I don't think it'll be that much easier to stop in today's game. I think it'll be just as hard to stop in today's game. But, I mean, I just don't think players from back then are just skilled enough or and even dealt with skilled enough players to even come into today's game and think they could play the same way. So, no, it'll definitely be a lot worse for today's game. But I still think he'll be able to produce because of the skill that he did have, the touch that he did have around the rim. He was mobile enough to play good defense. But that's the thing. See, we don't know because he hasn't had to guard nobody like today's game. He hasn't had to play in defensive schemes like today or play.
What Joel Embiid would do to that man is insane.
Okay.
See, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go like.
Hey, ZZ, you better give him. You better give him, ZZ.
What Joel Embiid would do to Kareem would be ridiculous. It's not even funny.
You are what's wrong with basketball discourse in the modern NBA.
Enlighten me, please.
Hey, no. I think what's wrong with basketball discourse is the lack of acknowledgement for the evolution of the game.
And here's the thing: I acknowledge Kareem. I just said he's the greatest ever when it comes to accomplishments and things that he has done. I know what this man means to the sport of basketball. I just don't think that you put Kareem and then you put him in today's game. I just don't think Kareem is by far the best player or the best center. I would still prefer have a guy like Jokic in today's game than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I would still have a guy like Joel Embiid in today's game, unlike Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So I just don't think that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will be all that in today's game, where the game is more predicated.
Are we talking if they like time traveled or if he grew up in today's?
If
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
we're putting the
time travel. That's what I'm saying.
Time travel
account for the evolution of the game.
Thank you.
Players today are just more advanced. Why are we not accounting for that?
From an athletic standpoint, you're absolutely right.
I'm not going as far as he is, but I'm just saying that I don't think
I'm just telling the truth.
Nearly as good. I think he'll still be an NBA player. Yes, I think he'll still be a great offensive player in terms of his touch around the rim, and all that stuff. Because he doesn't need the super athleticism to be a great offensive player, as we see with Jokic. But I just don't think he'll be just as productive as he was back then, because he was just going against less advanced players with less advanced schemes that now they probably know more of how to guard that now than they did back then. Just because we're able to learn off the stuff that we watched from back then. So they'll probably have more.
To the Boston, Joe.
I don't know.
I really got to talk to the Boston. I'm looking at the live chat. I'm seeing Church High says Kareem would be like Andre Drummond. Really?
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. I did not. That's why. I am not part of that group.
Saying that wrong though? Am anything I'm saying that wrong though? Why are we not
seven
of the game?
Seven and ZZ. Where would top 10? You think about the greatest players right now in the NBA. Top 10, top 15. Where's Kareem ranking?
I don't even want to do that. I want to do this. This is what I was about to say. When we talk about evolution in basketball, I understand the main issue that America has with basketball as compared to other Euro League teams, we talked about this on the panel, is what happened to the big man. The big man himself has went from where Kareem's age was, you slap him in the post, and that's what you do. Even when Magic Johnson was getting drafted to the Lakers, they wanted to throw his ass on the block. Obviously, that wouldn't have worked as much as it would have just letting him run the floor. But you see what I'm saying? They looked at guys that were 6'9" and above and said, we're going to put you on the block. Whereas in today's game, you have guys like Dwight Powell, who is out there as a starting center and is arguably the worst starting center in the league, especially for the Dallas Mavericks. But
don't you think the evolution of the game contributed to that? Like the defensive skills, they learned how to guard post players better. Maybe they learned you need more people to play in space because of the spacing that was in the league. So the more dominant post players are usually more the players that are not as agile or great in space.
Right, but here's my thing: when you're looking at players like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, what set him apart from other bigs throughout even his era? When you look back on it, the '70s itself was a pretty weak decade for NBA basketball. When you look at it from a star perspective, when you look at it from a winning, there was no dynasties in the '70s. It was just it was a whole lot of drugs. But nonetheless, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as an athlete, as a 7'2" athlete, who doesn't need to shoot the three to be effective. We've seen centers in today's game that don't shoot the three as well as other centers in the league, like Domantas Sabonis, for example. We watched him get exposed in the playoffs and just left on the elbow, and he didn't want to shoot. Now, if that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar right there, he's going to shoot that thing, whether it be a sky hook or a post hook or whatever it may be. Kareem's post game is pretty damn good.
Where would Kareem rank though?
Where great.
Where would Kareem rank? Where would he rank when we start looking like let's do this. And I'm gonna ask all you three a question. In today's game, Jokic or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Zizi, I'm going with you first.
Jokic or Kareem?
In today's game, I'm not talking about what they've accomplished. I'm just talking about their game.
Obviously, Jokic.
The DJ.
I got Jokic.
What? 7.
In today's game, just off.
I don't care what day's game. Y'all are never going to put Jokic upon of a prime Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, bro. Y'all ain't making no sense today.
What do you mean?
I think Kareem dominated the game he played. I think he was more dominant in his age than Jokic is today. But I think like I said, the evolution of the game, players are just better today. So if you bring a player that's just far less advanced, has
today,
far less
DJ, but the game is softer, and the game is not bully ball no more. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's finesse style of play, finesse style of play is tailor made for this new game of basketball. Y'all are kidding me. This guy is a walking double-double, bro. He is a walking double-double in this new game of basketball.
I prefer Jokic playmaking as a big man over Kareem.
His
over Kareem. I mean, if you want to break down different skills, I mean, we could do that. But you're going to tell me overall in today's game, you would take Jokic over a prime Kareem?
He's already besides 7.
I watched Joel Embiid give Joker the blues this season, bro.
And where did that lead him?
MVP.
Why does it matter?
An MVP.
You sound DJ. Wait, talk about DJ. Hold on. Yo, you sound like a Clippers fan. You sound like the Clippers when every time they beat the Lakers, they hold that in such a big standard, like it means something. It doesn't mean anything. What Jokic has done in today's game, I don't care how many matchups they have, because you could look at every individual greatest player of all time, and you start looking at, every time Kobe played T-Mac in their prime, you could say that T-Mac was better than Kobe. Or every time LeBron played KD, you could argue that KD always outplayed. That's not the case. Let's do an example. That LeBron James and KD played, KD always outplayed LeBron James. So just because Joel Embiid is outplaying Jokic doesn't make him the better player. Let's just stop the cap right there. Another thing, you are looking at Jokic like, yes, Seven, I understand you don't think he's the best player in the world. But for a lot of people, right now in the last 3 seasons, what they have seen in Jokic, he is the best player in the world. What he has accomplished.
A lot of people don't know basketball. So what? A lot of people don't know basketball.
He's a 2-time MVP, a finals MVP, led his team to an NBA championship. There's no argument for Jokic being an MVP. I mean, the best player in the world.
Do we need to put I don't want to get into a Joker conversation because we want to put context into that. How did
Go
Joker
ahead.
play in those 2 MVPs that you mentioned, and how did he play in the postseason when it counted the most?
He was the first player in NBA history to average a triple-double as a center. Not average triple-double, have multiple triple-doubles and a center. He was the most efficient player in NBA history scoring the basketball, and also the most efficient player when it comes to plus-minus in NBA history. Let's start off there. Jokic has been breaking and true shooting percentage. We're talking about standards. Jokic has been raising the standards every single day.
These numbers. Hold up. What are you referencing?
What do you mean? Breaking?
I asked you a specific question about his postseason.
Okay, what's the question?
Play
Maybe I misunderstood.
Once he won those awards that you have referenced. How was his production when he won those 2 MVPs?
Okay, so the year that he didn't have Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr., he gave the Golden State Warriors the business, averaging, what, ZZ? Was it 31, 10, and 10?
31, 13 rebounds and 6 assists and 2 steals.
And what was the percentage of him scoring?
He shot 58% from the field.
So nearly 60% without his whole squad. The following year, he goes to the same squad that he has with a Jamal Murray and a Michael Porter Jr., goes all the way and wins a championship, averaging, if you've seen him, Seven, you've seen what he did to the LA Lakers, and whoever faced them, you look at the Phoenix Suns, has been giving them the business. No one. So there's what I'm saying is that there's a legit argument saying that Jokic is the best player in the world currently. Now, when you put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in today's game, and you're saying that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to be better than Jokic in today's game, you are practically saying through a lot of standards that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will be better than Jokic. So the question is, would Kareem?
Yes.
Okay. So let's.
I don't have Joker as the best player in the world right now.
Who's the best player in the world?
He's not better than LeBron. He's not better than LeBron.
No, let's go. Okay, perfect. Great. Kareem goes in the NBA right now. Is he better than LeBron?
In his prime?
No, Seven. Answer the question. Seven. Kareem, like same question we were doing with Jokic. Don't make it difficult.
Answer the question, but don't put context in it. This guy
it's the same question.
15 seasons. He played
the best version.
So
it's the best version.
Specify
the best. Okay, the best version.
Right out, bro. You have to specify what phase of Kareem's career are you talking about, bro?
The best version.
Milwaukee. You got the Showtime Lakers. So what Kareem are you referring to?
Who's the best
behind these arguments, bro?
Okay. Who's the best version of Kareem for you?
I think the greater version was probably the Showtime Lakers, but I like the Lou Alcindor better. I like the Lou Alcindor better, but greater, I'm looking at Kareem. Prime Kareem, I'm saying with the Lakers. That prime Kareem with the skyhook is a walking double-double in today's game.
Is he better than LeBron?
No. LeBron is the greatest of all time.
No. I'm talking about right now, Seven. I'm talking about right now, Seven. Okay, so this is the question. Now that there's context to the question, that Laker Kareem, you put him in today's game like we were doing with Jokic. Is he better than LeBron right now?
No.
I can't believe that. I gotta talk to the bosses on that one. LeBron, this version of LeBron. Are we kidding right now? LeBron is not a top 5 player in today's game. I'm sorry.
You know what LeBron averaged last season?
I'm sending a telegram to the bosses.
How many games did he play last season? That's what I want to know. He wasn't even eligible for the majority of the awards in the league.
How did LeBron, when we talk about games played last year, you trying to paint a narrative that we had a load management problem with LeBron. Was it not due to injuries, or was LeBron on some Kawhi Leonard stuff? Let's keep it real.
We've been over this. We've been over this a billion times. LeBron not only had the worst shooting performance of his entire career in the postseason, which, once again, you want to attribute it to injuries. I contributed to the fact that he's 30,000.
He got his team to a Western Conference Finals after starting 2-10, bro.
Who did more to get the Lakers where they needed to be? Anthony Davis or LeBron James last season? That's what I want to know. That's what I would love to know right now. The man who played more games than man who played less games than Anthony Davis. Tell me right now. LeBron played 55 games last year. Anthony Davis played 56. When LeBron 56.
One more game.
When LeBron went down in December, Anthony Davis was carrying the damn load all the way through. So much so to the point where he was getting MVP nominations and considerations. because of how great he was playing.
Though, right?
Not to mention the trade deadline, because if that had never went through, LeBron would not have even made the playoffs last year. And we can agree on that for a fact. Now, if you're going to sit there and tell me that going into 2024, that Nikola Jokic, the reigning MVP, Finals MVP, my bad, is not, if you're going to tell me that LeBron is better than him, and this is literally the worst version of LeBron that we've seen in 21 years shooting the ball wise, you can see it on the court. LeBron ain't even as aggressive as he once was.
Not only that, Z. Also stating that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that Seven thinks is the greatest version of Kareem, is not better than LeBron now. It's also crazy.
It's crazy. You mean to tell me that if we drop a prime Kareem in today's game, that somehow, some way, LeBron James at the age of 39 would be better than a prime 7'2", 25-year-old, 32 point per game, averaging with 13 rebounds and 4 blocks? That's crazy. That's wild.
Seven. Let's play a game. I want to play a game with you. All right. I'm going to say prime players in NBA history, okay? We're going to plug them in today's game, and I want you to think about the best versions of them. Whatever that version is to you, Seven, that's the version I'm talking about, okay? The best version of these players in today's game, are they better than LeBron? First player, I want to go and say, let's go ahead and say,
how do you take, because what you're trying to do is make it seem like today's LeBron James is the standard of the NBA, and to boost your argument, you want me to sit here and have a conversation with you about one prime player and then another player in year 21, instead of being fair and looking at both players in their prime, since you want to actually have.
I think LeBron's the greatest. I think LeBron's the greatest of all time. I don't think there's anyone better. I'm just saying.
LeBron's the greatest of all time.
You really want me to sit here and listen to you run down some names of guys in their prime?
I just want to understand. I just want to
21. Come on, bro. You can't.
I just want to understand where you lay with LeBron James. That's it. Because I just want to know if
he's the greatest of all time to me. I don't understand.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think he's the greatest ever too. But when I'm looking at this version of LeBron James, I just don't think he's the best player in the NBA. That's just what I'm saying.
You keep saying this? What? Let me ask you a question, because y'all keep throwing out this version of LeBron James. Going into looking at year 20 overall, what problem do you have with LeBron James' play last season?
Okay,
shooting,
so
availability and defense.
You keep saying shooting, and this guy averaged damn near 28 points last season, bro.
Yeah, shooting.
But you're referencing shooting.
32%.
You're referencing shooting like it was a hindrance or was a detriment to the Lakers' success. If you want to talk about that in a sample size of the Denver series,
Conference Finals.
If you want to talk about it, you're comparing a series to an 82-game season, bro.
Yes, and in an 82-game season in which he played 55 games, you can't.
So how was they able to beat your boys and knock? How was they able to beat your team in the playoffs? How were they able to eliminate your team?
So let's run back and let's look at that series for what it was. In that pivotal game 6, right before tip-off, it was announced that Andrew Wiggins had broken ribs. Who was guarding Andrew Wiggins? LeBron James. Who was Andrew Wiggins guarding? LeBron James. So you mean to tell me, and what did LeBron James do? Exactly what I thought he would. Took it right to Andrew Wiggins' chest, play after play after play, had himself a ball game on somebody that was not 100%. But I'm not even going to talk about it like that, because once again, the Lakers, they won the series. Phenomenal. Fantastic. Great. When they got to the Western Conference Finals and LeBron James went out there and practically, and I don't want to say he shot him out of the series, because there were so many moments where LeBron was clearly the only one who looked like he was trying, Anthony Davis. But the point of the matter is he got swept. He shot the worst percentage from three that he has shot in his entire 21-year career. That's a lot of years. So you mean to tell me that going into year 21, that there is some way, somehow, some way, shape, or form, because when we're talking about LeBron and Nikola Jokic, Jokic is the better offensive player by far across all numbers. You can crunch them. You can look at as far as in the advanced statistics as you want to. That man is the greatest offensive player in the game today. No glaze, all facts. Now, if you mean to tell me that the only reason that you have LeBron James as the best player in the world going into next season is because he is the best player of all time to you. That's it. That's the only reason you have LeBron as the best player in the world going into 2024, is because he is the greatest player of all time to you. By that logic, I look at LeBron and I say, is he a better offensive player than Nikola Jokic, a guy that was in MVP conversations from the start of last year to the end of last year? No, he's not. If you want to say LeBron's better than Joel Embiid, fine. I don't even like Joel Embiid like that, especially in the playoffs. But the regular season Joel Embiid last year I can make an argument that he was better than LeBron because he was last year in the regular season. You can point to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Granted, he got hurt, but Giannis Antetokounmpo was a tad bit more productive than a 38-year-old LeBron James that is shooting sub 32% from three on multiple shots from the field. Like this ain't a situation where he's shooting 3 threes a game. Last year he shot 7 threes a game and made 2 of them. That's a problem. Not to mention the 55 games that continues to go down and down by the year. So going into next year, I'm not confident saying that a 38-year-old man is the best player among a league that is filled with the most talent that we've seen of all time. Like, let's be honest. That will be disingenuous to the greatness of a Nikola Jokic, of a Joel Embiid, of a Giannis, of a Steph Curry at his age.
No greatness of Nikola Jokic, bro. We talk about LeBron James.
Bro, you hating on Nikola Jokic because he's from Serbia.
I think there's an underlying hate.
Use that word.
You're talking about
Jokic.
He's a champion. What did Nikola Jokic do?
There's a lot of people that's champions.
What did Nikola Jokic do to your boy last year? Swept his old ass. Swept his ass.
Who?
Swept it.
Who?
Jokic did that to your boy. Your boy, he swept him. He swept him straight out the damn arena.
Unfortunately, he did. I hated that series.
So now this is what I love. This is what I love, Lakerland, especially from haters of the Lakers. When the Lakers lose, it's a one-on-one game. It's all on LeBron James. When the Lakers lose, it's a LeBron fault. Crazy to me.
No, seven. Here's the thing, though. It's that you said that LeBron beat the Golden State Warriors. It wasn't LeBron. It was the Lakers that beat the Golden State Warriors.
When did I say LeBron beat
the Golden State Warriors? You said, what did LeBron do to my boy?
Yeah, you said, what did LeBron
do to your boy?
No, you said, what did LeBron
do to your boys? You said, what did LeBron? Run it back, chat. Let me know if I'm right about that or not. But nonetheless,
I think with that, I think y'all reaching like a point guard with that. I think you really reaching like a point guard with that. But the bottom line is, to me, LeBron, even today, there's nothing that Nikola Jokic and all these other cats that y'all naming can do that LeBron can't. In year 20-1.
LeBron cannot play defense better than Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid. Hell, he can't even play defense better than KD right now. And it's because
can Giannis play offense like LeBron? Can Giannis facilitate like LeBron?
If you mean to tell me,
Giannis lead like LeBron? Yeah. Don't talk to me about one category when we got more than one category in the game of basketball. And trust me, LeBron check off more boxes than a lot of these other cats, even at a younger age, bro.
So Nikola Jokic, tell me what Nikola Jokic, tell me what LeBron James does that Nikola Jokic can't do on the offensive side of the ball. Please tell me, because I can tell you one thing that Jokic does better than LeBron. Shoot, he's more efficient.
LeBron is a
better passer.
LeBron is a freak train. Nikola is a better passer than LeBron. Look, you said Nikola Jokic is a better passer than LeBron James.
I said that proudly. I'll say it again in the camera. Nikola Jokic is a better passer than LeBron James in the year 2024. If you don't believe that,
no, I'm not gonna. No, Simon, I'm with you. I'm with you with this. I'm with this.
LeBron is the essential floor general in this league. Him and Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
Here we go.
Chris Paul is not a true floor general.
No, he's a true floor general, but you think he's better right now than like just being a floor general than Jokic?
Better. I didn't say he was better. I said floor general. I said LeBron James and Chris Paul are the essential floor generals, and there's no one else even close. That's what I said. Stop trying to change my argument for you to try to win some type of debate, bro. You can't
this is a debate show. And another thing is, I just wanted to clarify if you think Chris Paul is a better floor general than Jokic.
Yes, absolutely.
I think the last thing that I'm going to say is this. One, I'm going to say two things. One, in the words of Steph Curry, this ain't 2014 anymore, and that applies to LeBron James specifically. But the second thing that I'm going to say
is this. Steph say that to, by the way?
Chris Paul.
Who was he talking to?
Chris Paul. He was talking to Chris Paul. That's actually ironic that they're teammates now, but he was talking to Chris Paul. And the other thing I'll say is, my thing is, it feels so. Seven. Did you? I remember you saying a couple episodes ago that you felt like the league was pushing an international agenda. Can you clarify like what you mean by that? I'm trying to get your understanding.
Coming up. I'm 45 years old. Listen,
Okay.
I'm 45 years old. So back in the day, a lot of times you would have to work from 0 to 100. You would have to work your way from the bottom to get to the top on any level, whether it's AAU, high school, college, professional. You had to work your way up the top. To me, for these last handful of years, and I'm not saying Joel Embiid and Giannis and Nikola Jokic didn't deserve the MVPs. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Luka doesn't deserve the clout that he gets. Because of this NBA agenda of increasing their brand globally, I feel like these international players are getting put immediately at the front of the line when we talk about MVP races and stuff like that, only for them to have to lose. I feel like the global agenda that the NBA is trying to push to increase their brand, of course, you're going to put more spotlight on international players. Year in and year out, it's been the last 4 or 5 MVPs of the league in a row has been all international players. I feel like that all ties into the NBA global agenda. I don't have a problem with it because Joker, Joel Embiid, Giannis, them guys still got to play the game and show and prove. So, they didn't lose their spot, but I'm saying as far as getting that spot, I feel like they kind of got an alley-oop versus how it used to be back in the day where you have to work your way all the way up to it.
So, I mean, I get your point, right? But when you start looking at like what have they done to win, right? So in 2021, who won the NBA championship?
Giannis.
So, and then 2022, who won?
Wardell, Stephen Curry.
Golden State.
So in 2023, who won?
Joker.
So out of the last 3 seasons, it's been 2 Europeans that have been leading the team to win a championship. So I get your point, Seven. Yes, I do believe that the NBA is expanding globally. That is true, and I think that is great for the game of basketball. But you like when you say losing, the last 3 NBA champions, 2 of them that led that team are European, they're both European.
You're talking about postseason versus what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a regular season award. The MVP is a regular season award. Bro, why you keep trying to change this narrative this afternoon? I don't know what's up with Light Out. The MVP is a regular season award.
I came with you in peace. I came with you in peace.
I'm not talking about postseason. I brought violence this afternoon because y'all are terrible this afternoon in LAKERLAND. So I'm just talking about the MVP, the league, the season, regular season, not the championship.
So what do you mean? So then that's probably where I got confused. You said that these are European players are being pushed as an agenda just for them to lose. Lose what?
Their spot as the MVP winner. That's what I'm saying. In these races, when we're talking about MVPs and stuff like that, they're basically put at the front of the line only to lose it, depending upon their play. I gave them credit for not losing it. Like they still got to play the game of basketball, and they've done what they've done. So I'm not taking nothing away from them. But again, those guys, because of this new global agenda that I feel like the NBA is pushing, those guys get put at the front of the line in order to lose it versus having a gain to be in front of the line. That's the difference.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know about that, but I see your point.
All
right. Next up on LAKERLAND, since we're talking, fellas, about accolades and going to this season, I wanted to get into possibly talking about who our expectations are for MVP, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you guys have? And I'll start off with you, Light Out. Who do you have for your MVP prediction-wise going into this upcoming NBA season?
Is that there's so many players this year that you could say could win MVP. Giannis hasn't won in a while. You could say that. Luka, every year, Luka has, before the season even starts, the prediction is Luka's winning MVP. Like it's always that Luka's going to win, never ends up winning, because either he's not performing either he starts really slow in the regular season and then he picks it up closer to the postseason, or he's playing really good all season round, but he's not winning games. So that's the problem with Luka being MVP. So if I had to pick Jokic for me, I think he's gonna enter this LeBron, like conversation in the sense of like voter fatigue. I think Jokic has been up in the screens way too much, and I do think that the MVP is media based, mostly based on what's the player they want to push. So for that reason, I do not want to put Joel Embiid and Jokic in the front running in MVP. So if I had to pick someone up, and I hate to say this, but I think this year is his year. I got Jason Tatum winning MVP this year. I think this is the year that the pressures. I think there's a story behind it as well for the Boston Celtics. They got bounced out right by the Miami Heat by a Jason Tatum led team, where Jason Tatum, although he played great a couple games, there was a couple games that he did not show up. And the pressure's on Boston. They made a move. They got rid of Marcus Smart. They got a guy like Kristaps Porzingis to space the floor to help Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum drive in or make it easier for them to score. So the game offensively is easier for a guy like JT and Jaylen Brown. I think the story's there, and I really do think that Jason Tatum has the most pressure coming into this season because right now for me it's make it break it for him, and I think he's gonna win MVP and prove to the haters like myself that I am not a Jason Tatum fan. But prove to the haters and myself that he is meant to be a leader in an NBA championship or an NBA team, and he's gonna win MVP.
What does the I guess the atmosphere, what does the layout of the Boston Celtics look like in order for Jason Tatum to become a regular season MVP this season? Do they have to be the number one record-wise team in the Eastern Conference? Does he have to be a leading scorer? Like, what are the factors and the elements in Jason Tatum becoming MVP for this upcoming season in Boston?
So one would be, obviously availability. Jason Tatum, he's been available throughout the last couple seasons. Has shown that he's an available guy. So we got that check mark right there. When it comes to winning, yes, you need to win games. You have to be at least a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. So you could be, notably the front runner in the MVP. But the most important thing is that yes, you got those bases. You're available and you're winning games. The third thing is that when we're looking at the Boston Celtics, we have to look at that team not because he is leading the team in scoring, but more of in the sense that the reason they're winning is because of Jason Tatum. And Jason Tatum has to be an impact player this year. An impact player like, how LeBron won his MVPs, how Steph won his MVPs. And the year that KD won MVP in Oklahoma, it was an impact that, yes, the numbers showed that he was playing great. But when you were looking at that specific team, he was the sole reason why they were winning. So that is the main factor, is the impact that he brings in Boston.
What about you, ZZ, bro? Jason Tatum, is he the true leader of this team? I won't argue that he's the best player from a skill set position, but is Jason Tatum the true leader of the Boston Celtics, bro?
I think that with Marcus Smart being moved off to Memphis now, I think that the way that the Celtics are going to look at Jason Tatum is going to be as not only does everybody agree in the front office that you are the best player on the squad, but I think it's time for Jason Tatum to take that leap in leadership, because that's a lot of the times when you look at like certain NBA players and you look at how long it took them to really be that guy on their team. And when I say that guy, I don't mean a situation where like Paolo Banchero can come over to the Orlando Magic and it's undisputed that that's the best player on the team and they're in a poverty hole, so he's just going to lead them out of it or is expected to lead them out of it. When you're talking about on a contender, something that you've grown, the Boston Celtics have been at this Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown experiment since 2018. And who we've seen on this team since then, the likes of Al Horford, the likes of Marcus Smart. And then in the last few years, we've seen the emergence of guys like, Grant Williams, if you will, or the Time Lord. So, but the one constant that I've seen at least is that Jason Tatum has been the main guy that they're looking at. If anything, you could say he's the 1A to Jaylen Brown's 1B, or he's the 1 to Jaylen Brown's 2. So for Lightout's point about like him having an MVP season, I like it. I like it personally. I think that he has, like you said, about the story and things like that. When you think about MVPs, sometimes narrative plays a big part. And for Jason Tatum, it's like the Celtics haven't really been looked at as the one, like the Celtics in the last few years have been looked at as the one team that's supposed to go, at least to the conference finals. In a lot of people's eyes, they're supposed to make it to the finals, right? It's supposed to be, if anything, it's supposed to be a Celtics and Heat, not Celtics and Heat, Celtics and Bucks Eastern Conference Finals in a lot of people's mind. So if he goes out there and the Celtics with this new lineup that includes Kristaps Porzingis, if they go out there and they win, say, north of 57 games, that should be good enough for a top 3 seed in the East for sure. Tatum last year was 6th, I think, in scoring, averaging 30, alongside great efficiency, played 74 games. So it's like, do I see Jason Tatum going out there and putting up something similar? Yeah, I see him putting up 29, north of 29 and a half points per game, or 74 games. I see him playing over 70 games next year. And like I said before, with Marcus Smart being gone, he's no longer the heart and soul of this team. So they're going to look for Jason Tatum to not only be the best player, but to kind of, bring the guys in and be like, all right, look, it's time to, focus on winning this championship and actually securing it. So from that perspective, I could see it. If not Jason Tatum, obviously Luka's a safe answer. But then again, I started thinking about it and I was like, well, it's all up to Kyrie and Luka if the Mavericks are going to win games this year.
And the thing with Luka, sorry to cut you off. The thing with Luka, like, again, you know best. I'm a Luka guy. I love Luka. But it's every year, like last 2 years, I picked Luka to be the MVP. But what happens? Either he comes in out of shape, that I don't think is going to happen this year because he was in FIBA and he looked great, condition wise. But are they going to win games with the Dallas Mavericks to be like, okay, you know what, Luka? Here, this is a question for all of us. Do you think the Dallas Mavericks are going to be a serious threat in the West?
Serious threat?
No.
Exactly. My point. So if they're not a serious threat in the West, I think I have to disqualify Luka on winning MVP because winning matters. And if your team is not winning, you cannot win MVP.
I agree with that.
Church High want us to know that we think Giannis is on the clock. Now, Church High, are you talking from a perspective of Giannis on the clock in Milwaukee or as far as his prime play? Which are you talking about? Because I don't think he's leaving Milwaukee. I think all this is cap for real. I think he's just trying to keep the organization on their toes, make sure that they are maximizing all opportunities to keep him being in a successful situation. But I don't think Giannis is going anywhere. If Giannis was going to dip, Giannis' ass would have probably been left. I'm not going to say he's going to finish his career in Milwaukee, but he possibly could. And also, I'm more willing to believe that Joel Embiid will leave Philly before Giannis leaves Milwaukee.
That's a fact. I see that as well. I also think that Giannis said what he said to put pressure on Milwaukee. So I think that's another reason why he said what he said. And that's a great way to put pressure on Milwaukee and an organization to go ahead and win a championship. But Seven and Z, I want to know who's your MVP. So let's start with Seven.
If he's who y'all say he is, it's got to be Nikola Jokic. I don't see a reason why he would not win the MVP again this season. Coming off of a championship run, there's still no big men on a day-to-day that could stop him. I don't see anything stopping his progression. So I really don't see any reason why Jokic wouldn't be, one of those guys to be in the front running of the MVP race, unless somebody in the Eastern Conference just goes crazy. I love your Jason Tatum idea. I'm just trying to figure out what elements is going to have to be laid out in order for him to be in position to get that, because I don't recall Jason Tatum's name ever really being like a MVP finalist since he's been in the NBA.
I think this is.
I don't believe so, or maybe one time.
Yeah, so Jason Tatum last season, I believe he was a top 3 finalist to win MVP. So Z, you're muted if you're talking.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I think last year he was a top 3 finalist. But back to your Jokic MVP pick, although I think he's gonna be the same Jokic, and I think he's gonna dominate how he always dominates. I just think the media and the voters are sick of voting for Jokic, and this happens to every. I feel like it happens to every great player. It happened to LeBron James. I think LeBron's one of those guys that should have won more MVPs throughout his career, but they didn't vote for him because of media narrative and stuff that they did not want to vote for LeBron. So I think Jokic is entering. That's what they did. Exactly. That's what they did with Jordan as well.
That way they did Kobe that way. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right.
So I think Jokic is entering that. Maybe this is the last year that they might vote for him. But your point is that I could see him winning is that maybe this is the last season they want to push Jokic. But if this season's the last season they want to put Jokic. But I feel like he's already a 2-time MVP. He's a Finals MVP. He's an NBA champion. What more does the NBA want from Jokic? You know what I'm talking about? So I just don't think that narrative-wise, I just don't think he's going to win MVP. But if he goes crazy and Denver's just going ballistic, then you can't ignore that, and you got to give him MVP.
So who, fellas, like, could we talk about how the NBA or the media kind of pick sides as far as their favorite or who they're going to put at the front? When we talk about these conversations, so who is the new NBA player that could possibly, threaten that position, from the media side of Nikola Jokic? Like, who do you think is the next person in line?
It was supposed to be Ja Morant until he couldn't put that.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Ja, and now I look at it and I say, okay, well, who's still in the media's like
good side?
Luka's still kind of there. I think Luka's biggest issue is that he complains so much, and that's the only knock that I have to Luka when I watch his games. Because other than that, it's a show. But I hate that he complains so much. It almost reminds me of LeBron, and that used to really piss me off.
Really?
Really? Sorry, but LeBron, let's be real here. LeBron, even though there is some instances where LeBron actually got hurt, the case in point, that Boston game last year where Patrick Beverley went over to the ref and was like, foul, foul, foul. But LeBron threw a temper tantrum at the age of 38 years old, jumping around, holding his arm and screaming. I
would have thrown up. Dude, they fouled LeBron in that play. I mean, there's other occasions. There are other occasions that LeBron shouldn't be complaining. But that occasion right there, he got hit.
I've seen LeBron. Okay, somebody keep it 100. MJ used to complain a lot. Do me a favor and keep it 100. When have you ever seen MJ complain while not getting hit? Because I've seen numerous instances where LeBron had tried to play a foul off and flop early, and it's worse because they do LeBron dirty. They be catching him in slow motion. You remember the Indiana Pacers series from 2013? LeBron was just like,
What we lost ZZ?
Oh, we lost Z. I thought I got lost, but we're here. But
no, that's the Laker guards. When he started to get disrespectful, they shut ZZ down. We ain't playing that, bro. We getting too close to this regular season. He started to be real disrespectful. You know the Laker guards. ZZ do that, bro.
Yo, Z, who's your MVP this year?
My MVP this year, Lord have mercy. Going into this season, before you said anything about Jason Tatum, it was between Jokic and Luka. But now that you mentioned now that you told me about the Mavericks and how I really don't think that they're going to be that much of a threat because they still have missing pieces, I'd say Nikola Jokic has a pretty good shot. Voter fatigue has been out the window for the last year. They were expecting him to go to the finals last year at least, which he did. Bruce Brown isn't there anymore, and he was a really big contributor. So I think that when you look at what the Nuggets have lost, they lost some significant role players in Bruce Brown specifically. So I think Nikola Jokic, they still got their big three intact. I think Jokic is still going to be unstoppable. I don't know how his game could get any better than it was last year, but I also said that going into last year as well. I didn't think he could get any better than the year before. So I think voter fatigue is off the table for Jokic. So I'm going to go Jokic.
Can you do me a favor, ZZ, and stop spewing your negative rhetoric, whereas though LaKERLAND is sitting here co-signing with all this crap you're talking about now? LeBron is a flopper.
Yes,
look
LeBron
at Church High. Now LeBron is a flopper.
LeBron is a flopper. It's a flopper.
The thing is, the thing is with LeBron is like LeBron is the flopper where it's like you don't blame him for flopping. I just blame him for flopping so damn much. Like sometimes I'm like, yeah, I get it. He's a veteran of the game. Chris Paul knows how to make some calls look like some fouls because where the ref is positioned and things like that. But LeBron is a different story. This man has some of the.
Is he not getting contact? Is he not getting fouled?
Not all the time.
Stuff?
Yes, hell yeah, I'll stand on that. LeBron will tell you. What do you mean?
Wow. There's times. No, I think now. No, but hold on. I'm gonna ride both fences here. I think LeBron is justified to react like he does because most of the time he drives in where he doesn't doesn't complain are times that he's legitimately getting fouled and he's just letting it slide. So the times that we see LeBron either flop or exaggerate the call is justified because of the things that LeBron has been dealing with that whole game. So maybe LeBron got hit 4 times and he's fed up. And now he's like, I bet if y'all not going to call, I'm going to go crazy. Give me the Oscar and what I'm about to do. Right. So it's justified. I think it's justified for LeBron doing what he has to do.
I've seen so many LeBron Oscar memes from posted by ESPN, Bleacher Report, House of Highlights. Like the league knows, everybody knows. Seven apparently doesn't think LeBron ever is flopping. Not me, precious. No, that motherfucker be flopping. Let's be real. Let's keep it away.
I need ZZ to address this crap right here on the screen because this was a question that I was going to bring to my brother on this crap that I heard him say before. But now I see Sharm City in the chat talking this BS. So, ZZ, is your boy the face of the NBA? Because I swore I heard you make this statement before. Steph Curry being the face of the league. Is that true?
Solid. I think so. I think it's a toss-up between Steph or LeBron, but those two mainly because they own the 2010s, if we're being real. Listen, the fact that when 2K released that or announced that they were going to have a LeBron era, it sent social media ablaze. Why? Because how do you have a LeBron era when another guy has the same exact amount of rings as you? But I get it. It's LeBreezus Christ. We understand. When we're talking about the face of the league, like Whiteout said in one of our jump ball segments, it might have been the first one. He was like, Steph Curry appeals to like the kids more than LeBron. I'm like, that's my point right there. The NBA is trying to appeal to, a large majority of individuals, but especially kids. They need a guy that they're like, okay, if this guy appeals to the kids, we're winning. Everything's fine. LeBron, back when he was first walking to the league, was arguably like that too. We saw it around 2007, 2000, right before he ended up on the Heat. When you saw Tim Duncan after he swept them in the finals and said, hey, it's going to be your turn in a few. But he was being legit. Like he saw LeBron as like the next face of the league. And then for a couple of years, it was between him and Kobe, I would say, honestly, until Kobe started to deteriorate. And then LeBron was fully forced the best player in the league, fully forced the face of
10 plus years.
And then a little kid out of Davidson, out of nowhere, just says, hey, Bron, guess what? What do you not have? A unanimous MVP. And then, what do you not have? 73 wins in a season. Then LeBron's like, hey, shut your mouth, 3-1. And then Steph's like, shut your mouth, 3-1. How many times have we matched up in the finals? Yeah. So we can go either way. Both of those dudes are literally like the elder statesmen of the league right now. I mean, KD might be in that mix too, from just his efficiency standpoint alone. But in terms of accomplishments and all of that, Steph and LeBron, you can go either way still. But it's not egregious to say Steph Curry. I mean, why wouldn't it be Steph Curry? Who else would it possibly be?
It is very egregious to say Steph Curry is the face of this league.
Tell me how.
Because LeBron James is still playing in uniform. That's how.
Step back.
Because LeBron is still in uniform.
Steph Curry just broke the all-time threes record, so much so that to the point where the fans of New York, the New York Knicks, were applauding this man, giving him a standing ovation. If you could do that to the New York Knicks, you're the away team. The Knicks were actually making the postseason. That, like, come on now. Like, I think that the disrespect to Steph is egregious, but come on.
That's let me ask you, I can't believe you just said that.
What I said.
So what record did LeBron break last season?
Yes, he broke the all-time scoring record. We both knew that both of these players were breaking both of those records in both of those seasons. We knew this. The league had talked about it as soon as the first game started. Like, what do you mean? And once again, like here, perfect comment. People say that Steph Curry is the reason why the game is played like it is today, right? Why is that? Because Steph started shooting threes, and every other team in the league was like, damn, that looks like it could work. And then the Houston Rockets missed 30 of them joints straight in a row in a postseason game, but we're not going to talk about it. Steph Curry and LeBron have owned the 2010s. into the 2020s.
No,
LeBron capped
LeBron has
2020 by
owned the
winning the chip.
2010s. LeBron has
LeBron
owned
has
the
had the most finals
2010s. Not
losses
no
in the
Steph Curry.
2010s.
Not
How do you own
no
something
Steph
when
Curry,
everybody
LeBron.
else?
Seven, don't forget, don't forget, because ZZ's forgetting to mention this. He's saying that Steph Curry owned the 2010s. No, ZZ, Steph and Kevin Durant. If you're gonna say that Steph Curry owned the 2010s, right?
Nothing.
No, but listen, Seven, listen.
Why did LeBron own it? This is my thing. Hold on, before you say your thing, I want to say this. My biggest knock with LeBron stands, or at least some of them, is that they act like LeBron James was the king of all kings. No one else ate like LeBron James ate. Meanwhile, in the 2010s, one person walked away with the same amount of rings as LeBron did.
No.
But let's say you're not putting context. You're not putting context, ZZ.
Wait a minute.
ZZ,
you're partially right. The championship amount we can argue, but nobody ate like LeBron did in that stretch of the 2010s. Let's be real. Outside of 1 year, LeBron was in the finals every season, I believe, from 2010 to 2019, if I'm not mistaken, with two different franchises.
Oh, no, 2011.
No, 2020. So 2019 he missed, but from 2010 to 2020, he has made the NBA Finals every single time, minus 2019.
Organizations with
breeze through the East. Breeze through the East,
including a repeat, winning in a pandemic, and getting Cleveland their first championship in 50 years. So I will admit, Steph got some W's during that stretch, but truly, to me, no one was eating like LBJ.
And why are we forgetting? And why are we forgetting that it wasn't just Steph eating? It was Steph and his co-partner Kevin Durant as well. Because I don't know if we're gonna have the same conversation if Kevin Durant never joined the Golden State Warriors. The reason why LeBron doesn't have more rings than he should is because the greatest team, arguably the greatest team of all time, was formed for a guy like LeBron James. So
let me ask you this question. LeBron waited until the year 2019 to go to the Western Conference. So if LeBron was in the Western Conference from 2011 to 2018, how many finals appearances would he have? Let me ask you that question. I just want to see where y'all. I just want to see, because LeBron's the same is absolutely insanity.
How?
Lord have mercy. Because LeBron's biggest opposition is in the Western Conference. So if he has to face these guys instead of in the finals in the first, second, and or third round, he wouldn't make it to the finals, right?
I watched OKC be up. I watched young OKC be up 3-1 on those guys. I mean, we have to boil it down to what team in the Western Conference would LeBron James be playing with.
And then we saw the Warriors come back, right? We saw that's
true. And then we watched them pee in the bed in the next round. But all I'm saying is that if a young KD and company can push Golden State to the limit, I believe LeBron James in that stretch, depending on what team in the Western Conference, could be just as successful.
Now, I think LeBron will have more rings in his career if he was in the Western Conference.
That is crazy.
No, listen. let me get this off. I think he'll have more rings in the Western Conference, but I don't think he'll have the same final appearances like LeBron was in the East. And here's why.
His percentages would be better.
Yeah. Because one, LeBron. I see LeBron maybe getting bounced out by San Antonio Spurs during that time. I could see LeBron James getting bounced out by the Warriors, by the Lakers in 2010 with Kobe Bryant and all them boys. You start looking at like the great teams that OKC, my bad, about OKC, right? We look at all these Dallas in 2011, that could still be a thing, right? But listen. I also do see LeBron coming with the W with these teams. So it's not like these teams will automatically, it's not like these teams will automatically beat LeBron James. It's more of LeBron James. If LeBron James can beat this team, and if he makes it to the finals, he is winning the NBA championship. So he'll probably have an undefeated record in the NBA finals, but he'll have less final appearances if he played in the West.
Henry, you late, Henry. Henry, where have you been at all show? Because last show you had some of the craziest takes. I've been waiting for Henry for the beginning of the show, but he made his cameo appearance.
Kobe
Bryant would take Bron's manhood. Jesus Christ. Shout out to Henry.
If Bron, there we go. Bring that up. Because here's my thing. Y'all talk about me not adding context into the 2010s. Are we acting like the Eastern Conference back then was the same Eastern Conference as it is right now? Is that
Of course,
Not at all.
no, not at all. Of course,
because let me be real here. Let me just be real here. As much love as I have for LeBron, I'm not saying he's not going to make it to the finals at all, but I'm saying when you take into account LeBron's run, dominant of the Eastern Conference, utter domination. When you look at LeBron Toe and you look at a baby Yan Yan and you look at the decaying of the Chicago Bulls from 2011 in 2015 and beyond, when you look at all of the teams in the Eastern Conference back then, when you say who are some of the top teams, for example, the 2015 Atlanta Hawks, who had 4 All-Stars just because they won a lot of games. We all knew. And I'm going to be real with you. Back then, when I saw that the Cavs were matching up with them, I was like, Bron's going to mop the floor with them. Let's be real.
Light work.
No one's stopping this, man. This is easy. And I believe it was, if not a 4-game sweep, it was like a 5-game series. But it was pretty. Bron said, let me get y'all out of here. Any Toronto Raptor team with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, Bron was never afraid of. It was, as a matter of fact, it was the opposite. It was the other way around. So, we know that for a fact. But if you mean to tell me that if that same LeBron with that, not necessarily that same LeBron, but that same LeBron with that same supporting cast outside of Kyrie Irving, when he left, obviously, George Hill and J.R. Smith and what was left of Kevin Love, was going to be able to contend with like an Eastern Conference team like the Milwaukee Bucks of today, even the 76ers of today. Because back then, the 76ers were at the bottom of the East. Now Joel Embiid's healthy. They got James Harden. They got Tobias. They got all these guys. They got better teams that can beat down a LeBron James-led team that is only led by LeBron James and no one else. So, like, that's all I'm saying. When we talk about LeBron's dominance, yes, it was a dominant stretch of basketball, but add the context of the teams that he was going up against in comparison to how the Eastern Conference looks now. Now, I'm not saying that to knock LeBron in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that little bit of context might help us in certain situations. But, whatever. Like, yeah.
Gotcha. All right, LakerLand, it is a wrap. Episode number 6 is officially in the books, man. Y'all already know how myself, ZZ, and Light Out do. Definitely thank you guys so much for your support on today's show. Today was a classic. Very intense, very heated debates and convos. I love it. Salute to LakerLand in the live chat. Big up to y'all. Players Choice has a new show coming up right next. The Golden State Warriors. Yes, the Golden State Warriors have their own show on Players Choice. It's called Gold Blooded. It's going to be streaming right after our show, LakerLand. So if you guys are Golden State Warriors fans or haters of the Warriors, make sure that you guys stay locked in to Players Choice for the premiere of Gold Blooded coming up next on
Best show on the platform already. Best show on the platform already.
Just a quick reminder, y'all. Myself, ZZ, and Light Out. We're here at you guys every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, as well as every Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern.
Yes,
here
sir.
On the only choice that matters, Players Choice. Shout out again to the Lakers community. Shout out to the NBA community. Big up to the Players Choice family. Fellas, y'all got any final thoughts before we sign off?
Violate the like button.
Violate the like button. And again, I just want to say one more time, appreciate the super chats today. We're able to pay rent to stay on the platform. So I really appreciate the love, guys, and appreciate the comments throughout the whole show. Y'all brought
the live chat was fire, bro.
The live chat, they're the MVP of this show. So I really appreciate all of y'all. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I wanted to show some love.
No doubt, man. Just real quick, I want to give some real quick shout outs before we sign off. Tony Brown, I see you. Henry Dirt, Emilio Lake Show, ADJ, salute. Jalen Card, I see you. JC, big up to you. Who else joined us? Nick the Quick was in the building. 8 Gates Lee was in the building. B-Day 21, he joined us. Shout out to you. Of course, man, LJM was in the building as well, man. We had a lot of support, a lot of
don't forget LeJalen. Don't forget LeJalen
and dialogue. Keep it 100. Yeah, Jalen, Sherm City, Fat Cat. Salute to all you guys, man. Y'all stay safe. We'll see you guys Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern on LakerLand. We are out of here, fellas. Y'all be good. Peace.